The new album sounds rad.
Thank you.
Dude, thanks.
Yeah.
Just
Is it out today?
This morning.
It dropped
Wow,
on this earth
congratulations.
today.
Which album number is this?
This is 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Lucky number 4.
Yeah, dude.
That's when Peter Gabriel went huge on number 4.
Really?
Yeah.
You were on his
Pretty
label, right?
similar
Yeah.
trajectory.
Dude.
Yeah.
The guy that produced the record is from Ohio. They're
That's
Ohio
so
people.
fucking funny because I was just about to ask you who produced the record because it's a big production.
Yeah.
You guys went heavy on that one.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had fun.
Yeah.
A lot of rabbit holes.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Aaron Desner from The National produced the record.
Okay.
And,
right on.
They all grew up together in Cincinnati.
Oh, right. Yeah, they're from Ohio. So how'd you guys start working with him?
With Aaron?
Yeah.
He lived in Ditmas, Brooklyn, and we were just across Prospect Park.
Yeah.
And he saw this video that we made a long time ago for this song called You Never Need Nobody, and liked it and had his people reach out to our manager. Then we found out we were neighbors. So I just went down and had coffee with him and fell in love.
That's cool.
They're very happy now.
Head over heels.
Head over heels forever.
How long did the record take to make and where'd you guys record it?
Recorded upstate
Where?
in Stuyvesant. It's close to Hudson.
Okay,
New
like near
Upstate.
Catskill or something? Or
Right in that area.
Below,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Closer than Catskills.
We spent I don't know, it was almost
Long time.
We
2 or
lived
3
there.
weeks combined,
Yeah.
living in the studio with him.
It was
So,
fun. We'd fall asleep to the sound of coyotes outside. It was creepy.
did you microdose?
Dude. We didn't even need to. I mean, I'll just speak for myself. I don't know. I don't keep up with everybody.
You'd never know if they were.
No, I wouldn't.
What are we microdosing?
Super micro. Super micro.
But so, what do you guys do in terms of creativity in the studio? Is it 12-hour days? Or do you guys go all night sometimes, or do you guys keep it between the lines and do no, we're doing this from 9 to 6 and then dinner and then we?
This
Watch
one was
TV.
fun because we slept there and woke up there.
It's
Yeah,
just full immersion.
It was a cool process because we usually go in. We have in the past, so we played everything live and then build off that.
Yeah.
We really wanted to go from the ground with our vocals.
Oh, okay.
And so a lot of the songs just started with a hum, and Aaron would make a beat and we'd just build it from there. And then when it was compelling that way, we kind of started adding other things, and that's when we invited JT
Yeah.
Bates in and Josh Kaufman, who has an incredible project out right now, Bonnie Lighthorse. Men.
Bonnie Light Horseman.
And so it's just we just tried to invite as many people in the process, and not hold anything too precious, and just see where it went. And it was a beautiful process because we just let ourselves go for
That's
a couple
nice.
weeks. So we've never done it.
Were
that
you
way.
writing in the studio as well, or did the songs already exist?
A lot of the songs were there, and then in the mornings we would all kind of go work on what we were kind of going to be doing for the day. And there were some songs that were rewritten in the process. And one song got brutally cannibalized into another song that's one of my favorite songs we have recorded. It's called Friends on the new record.
Oh, okay.
It's a great poem about grabbing your friends and doing awesome things. But
What are the lyrics?
he wrote them.
I got some friends with trouble sleeping. A full moon howling like a beast. They fall in line with what their instincts tell them. To make it worth the hurt they're feeling. Like spirits in the night we walk among the winter shadows lost and fill these cozy bars with talk of what we need and what we've lost. And then the chorus is,
Did you say cozy bars?
yeah.
Word.
And
I like that.
And then
That's dope.
and then the chorus is the new chorus. The old chorus was going to be I got some friends. And Aaron
That would be a hit.
I know. And Aaron,
He wouldn't do it.
Aaron
Don't
kept
change
making
it,
fun of
dude.
it. Aaron would Aaron's house is like a 5-minute walk from the studio.
Yeah.
So he'd walk in all cozy with his coffee, and he'd be like, I got some friends. I'd be like, okay, if you're going to do that, you're going to kill it.
Right.
He killed it.
He killed it.
And then, so the new chorus was, awaken up to this just like I knew I would. I know the work is hard. I know the struggle's good. I guess it all didn't work out quite like we thought it would. So it's like a juxtaposition.
That's good, but
that big word that
I'm
somebody
kind of
else can
still
say.
stuck with I got some friends.
Got some friends.
Especially if you sing it that
I
way.
got some friends.
It's fun
You
because
can do that in the live version.
I will.
Yeah.
Let's
So-
do it.
The
Yeah,
remix.
the lyrics are kind of like heavy, but it sounds like hey ya. So
Oh, really?
I'm
Yeah.
really into it. It's
Oh,
really
that's cool.
fun, like backbeat and everything's like a party, but it's
Yeah.
really like the Paul Simon, like
Yeah.
put a beat behind it and sing some heavy lyrics. It's really
Right.
fun.
And many lyrics.
Mini lyrics.
Yeah.
That's Zach's.
It does
Calling
sound,
card.
it sounds live. Like it sounds like it captures like a live band experience to a certain degree.
It was fun. It definitely captured that like collaboration
Yeah.
in a really amazing way. John Lowe, the engineer, is incredible, and I love working with him. He just has this like quiet meekness about how he works.
Right.
Just like led by kindness. And then to have somebody in the room that's like the engineer talk that way,
Mm-hmm.
it just changes the whole vibe of the room for me.
What do you mean?
I mean, he's just really like, he's soft spoken, but he's really intentional with the words that he decides to say.
Mm.
And I don't know, he just has a way of like quietly guiding the ship. And then Aaron would be like in La La Land doing Lord knows what, and it would all like come together. And they've been working together like that for like a decade. We made another record with them a few years ago, and then they made that Big Red Machine record with Justin Vernon and Aaron Dessner,
Mm.
and it blew us away. We were like, can we make another record with you? I was like, yeah.
They're literally at the top of their game. I don't think
Oh, yeah?
they can do anything wrong right now.
Why?
Just sitting with him and seeing how his brain works and getting like you get little trap door into his brain while he's working. It's just they're just in this. It's a whole nother dimension almost. It's so fun to watch.
Like, what do you mean though by that? Another dimension? They're just killing
They're just
it.
building,
right now.
just building these.
They're just on fire.
They're just
right
on
now.
fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. And
There's like no rules that they follow.
no rules. It's
Really?
all
No.
just in the ether.
It scared me to death.
It's so awesome.
Sessions with their pants off type of shit, or
No, I mean like musically. Everybody stayed.
That was more the
No
the
rules
stories I
here.
heard about Big
What
Red
do you
Machine.
It's like Outback
recording.
Steakhouse.
what? Like Outback? Outback's terrible.
Like a blooming onion.
No rules, just right.
Oh, really? Is that their thing?
Yeah. You should give it another shot, man.
Maybe. Okay.
Like seeing the vibe that you're living in right now, I
Yeah.
think you'd really dig the new Outback Steakhouse.
What was something you're used to doing in the studio that they did completely different that kind of like threw you off?
Yeah. The vocals. Usually we sing these like big, high, soaring things, and that's like our MO. And Aaron was like, that has become your crutch. And he was always like, I'm clipping the eagle's wings. So
That's great.
the melodies that he had us sing are like down here.
Mm.
And he's like, we're going to express the emotion that's in your mind and your heart different this time.
I love that.
It was
That's
very,
hard to do.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, to let go of your tricks, because it's weird when your tricks become your like the prison.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
or like they just become
Becomes
your
the shtick.
it
Yeah.
becomes your go-to. You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm dealing with that with painting. You know, like I actually was just checking out this painter yesterday, and he was talking about just that. Like, and this other painter was talking about you should just start painting with your left hand. You know, stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. You know. Yeah, but it's an interesting concept. It's really cool. So was that when you guys started doing that? What was that like? Did it freak you out at first? There must have been growing pains. There must have been like, wait,
was
this
super
sucked.
scary.
Can we go back to being like doing the
Trying
thing?
to
Yeah.
hide how afraid I was from everybody because I didn't want to mess up the other creative
pacing.
things happening.
I loved it. I was like, finally, I don't have to sing at the top of my register 100% of the time.
I think it was
Right.
super intentional because we wanted a record that was more invite you into the like almost part of the process, instead of like you're a spectator and these guys are just singing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I wanted you to feel like you were on like a drive with the record, and
Yeah.
you were having a conversation with somebody, you know, like
Right, more conversational.
yeah.
But was there like points when you thought like, okay, I want to go back to the way it was before, or to use some tricks, or
Yeah,
like, what was
especially with
like?
that, like that song "Friends."
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, the chorus. Well, the whole song is just like steady all the way
Mhm.
through. We've never done that before. We've
Right.
always had like quiet, then boom,
Yeah.
and it was just like.
Right.
So halfway through recording that, I was like, maybe I'll sing some big notes on top.
Right.
And he was like, no. I was like,
But there was a couple songs we knew we'd go for.
Yeah.
Like, I think Good Times was the fastest one recorded, and we just like, Aaron was like, just go. And we had a ball.
Mhm.
And it definitely needed us to do what we
Are comfortable.
are
doing.
comfortable. So I think we recorded it. The main thing was done in like 2 hours.
Right.
It was so crazy. It was the only one that was like that. But
Yeah, but when you challenge yourself and do something different, then you can go back to the old vibe for a second, and then it becomes more dynamic, and it's cool.
yeah.
and you can test it too.
Yeah.
Like, what's the motives here? Am I being led by fear and I just want to do the old thing? Or is it actually what the song needs? Like,
Right. And are you happy with the results in retrospect of listening to ones where you didn't do those tricks? Like where do you
Dude.
feel like there's more power to it?
so happy. So
Really?
grateful.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Why is that?
Because I don't think I would have made that decision on my own. I needed another human to help me.
Right.
And I'm just
And what are
grateful
you
for that.
hearing in it that is more satisfying to you?
I think that it ended up bringing out a certain level of humanity
Okay.
that's in this range of singing
Mm-hmm.
rather than like showmanship.
Right.
Yeah,
'Cause when we
there's
go
more
on tour-
vulnerability, I think.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, let me impress you
Mm-hmm.
Right.
with how loud and high I can sing.
Look what I can do.
I was,
Yeah.
I was even feeling it. We played Rockwood where we did our first record and everything
Uh-huh.
last night, and I was feeling it. We were just standing up there, and we were just ourselves. And I think we finally, and it's a journey, but I think the record is us without having to put all this stuff. It's like there's songs where it's just like Zach just enemies. He just played the song, and then we build everything around it.
Yeah.
It's just like we didn't try to like do something because we thought we had to.
Right.
We did. It was intentional, and it's fun, and it feels like us. you
Right
know?
on.
Now you are a band. Back
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you were starting. Now
Yeah.
you're four albums in. Dynamics probably have changed. You've grown. You've matured.
Yeah,
Like how is the songwriting on this last one?
Everybody writes, and we stay open to each other's ideas, and we stay open to each other's criticisms as best we can.
All of it. It's real
And
hard.
it's really hard picking what songs get on a record.
How do you go about doing that?
I don't even know.
It's like
It was the hardest.
it's like
It's
Ma-
heartbreaking.
process-
It's heartbreaking
Man
when
Randy
you
the
cut
process
ones
of
that-
it this cycle was one of like the hardest
That was the
band
question.
Because it's a
moments.
long record anyway.
I think,
Y'all
yeah.
like
Say
put
that
a-
again, Kaneen?
I think the process of doing it this go around was like one of the hardest like moments in our band probably.
Why?
I don't know. I think there's so many voices coming in kind of telling you what you should do, and it can just be really hard to like Brené says, like kind of the shame monsters start talking, and it can be hard to like really know what to listen to and to not take it personally, to really try to objectively look at the body of work and not let your feelings get involved. And for me, there's a song that I wrote with a little melody that Brian had and a line Brian had that was really close to me, and I'm just not very good at like sticking up for if people believe in it, I'm like, great, that's great, but I'm not going to be like, no, this is great and you need to listen to it. That's just like not my personality.
Mm-hmm.
And that song, this go around, that was like really close to the chopping block, and I was getting really upset, and then they were like, if you want that song on the record, you just need to fight for it. And I was like, okay. And I really had to get over that fear of just like fighting for something and maybe losing, but like just kind of
Right.
get in the arena and not do like kind of a detachment of like, I don't even really care. Like
That's your
whatever
that's
you
your
guys
protective
want.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I don't care anyway. Fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like a pretty chill person generally, like, but this was one hill that I was like, I think I want to fight on this hill. Like,
And did it go on?
it did, yeah.
You weren't the only one fighting on that hill.
Oh, I
okay.
know, but I had to do it, and I'm really grateful for that experience because
Right.
I think, you know, as like a woman, sometimes there's like this intrinsic thing that you've learned from observing culture that you're not supposed to do that, and you're just supposed to like be agreeable. And as like a generally agreeable person, like it's just hard for me, and so I'm grateful for the experience. But
What's that song called?
it's called Just Enough to Get By.
And how's that one go?
It's a weird song. It has a time signature change, but it's about my mom, and it says, if silence is golden, I know a lot of wealthy women buying what's been sold them, buy anything but freedom.
Wait, say that again?
If silence is golden, I know a lot of wealthy women buying what's been sold them, buy anything but freedom.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's an awesome lyric.
it's intense.
Yeah, it's great.
But yeah, other than that, it's just hard because, you know, an album is all the songs. It's like so much life and so much work, and you remember what was happening when you were or weren't in the session, and it's hard to like strip all that away and just like let it be what it is. So
It's definitely like going down the rabbit hole and making the music is my favorite part of it.
Right.
I love being in it, and I love being frustrated and excited and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the hardest part, and I think it's almost the most, I think after this record cycle, I realized the best part is we've invited all these people in, and it's really hard because we invited a lot of people in this process. It used to be just like us and her husband making decisions. So like we invited all these people in this process, and it was really hard, but everything slowed down to a crawl, and we made sure we picked up every stone just to make sure we were like, and it's so hard to fight for a song that like, especially when it's your song, like it's the hardest, you know,
because you want people to go to your song like we
Yeah.
gotta put
Oh,
this
yeah.
song on
like,
the
it's
record.
easy for me to
Like-
like fight for one of their songs.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like the song.
No,
that's
it's
going
gotta be
on.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
But when it's
yeah.
you, you're like, no, it's not.
Oh, this little thing, this little thing. Oh,
Don't
I
make me
barely
sing.
tried. Okay, yeah.
But I'm super thankful for that. I'm never gonna look forward to it.
They're
There's
coming
something
after
going
you,
on.
bro.
They found me.
I'm never gonna look forward to it. But it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like the where the shame comes in for me is actually having to dig through everything, and like see where my heart was postured towards certain songs and where I was coming from and why I was doing it, if it was for a good reason or a bad reason or anything. If I want to sing this song every night anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like when you turn over every stone, when the thing's done, you're like, we did everything we could do. And that's a very important thing, because these things, just for us, it doesn't matter. And sometimes it's just for me. Like this thing's going to live, and it's going to be a part of my family. It's going to be a part of my friends. And I want to like say that I did everything I could to make sure like these things were like everything. I put everything on the table for it. You know what I mean? So I hate the process, that ending side of the process, but I think it's because but it's really good part of the process, just to make sure you're doing the right things.
Yeah.
You know?
So how many people did you guys? And when you say you invited other people in, like
He's
was
talking
it
about like
management?
management,
Team,
label.
Yeah,
agents,
everybody.
Yeah, we had a new
Everybody
label this go
means
around.
really well.
Right.
And we love their input. I think at the end
Yeah.
of it, it's
Yeah.
Is the label trying to pull you in different directions?
Not in a mean way.
I think they've
but
just given us a
I
gut
think-
check, you know.
Yeah, I think. Well, the way that we made the record is we made the whole record and didn't let anybody hear it. And then we were like,
How many songs did you record for?
19.
19. So and 15 on it, right?
11 or 12?
I
What
think
did
there's
it-
more
Well,
than
the
that.
I think
intros
there's
and everything.
11, but then there's like the 3 piano tracks.
Oh,
I see.
yeah.
That are
'cause
just
on
kinda like-
iTunes it was like
Yeah.
14
I think
or
14,
15.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
I
did
think
like
it's
an old
11
rap
songs.
record move.
Oh, okay.
And we did an intro, interlude.
So you guys went through all that stuff, and then they threw on a bunch of extra
Ah.
songs anyway.
I know, right? They're like, it has to be 11 songs.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we're going to put 16 songs.
Okay. But then also when you're doing that process, isn't somebody saying, well, we can make an EP of these other tracks? That's the other thing that people usually say. But then that sometimes never comes out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, Yeah, they were all fully recorded songs.
Yeah.
And we loved all of them.
Right.
And then we had to, and there was a time where we were like, let's just pull a Drake
Let's
and
do a
have a
double record.
19-track album.
Yeah.
And then we were like, no, we've got to do this. What is this specific collection of songs trying to sound like and trying to say?
Yeah.
And I called them and I was like, all bets are off. Any song can get cut. Here we go. Let's do this. And it was awful. It was terrible. It was really hard, but it was worth it.
What was terrible about it for you?
Because the things that I was bringing up, I knew we were all emotionally attached to these songs.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, your song might not make it.
Right.
What? I thought we were friends, bro.
Right.
But I just wanted to do that. I wanted to pull the whole thing out. So like no favors were given.
Right.
And it was just like, we're going to let the record grow and become its own life. And we all got to open our eyes to what is that going to be. And that's really ambiguous. And
yeah, I think it can be really painful because it's so subjective.
Right.
You know, it's like when you say let the best song win, everyone is going to have a different idea of what the best song is, you know.
Yeah.
And it wasn't let the best song win either. It was like, what is this canvas? What colors does this need? What
What's the story and
Yeah.
everything? So what's going to happen to the rest of those songs? Do you
we're
know?
going to release them.
You're going to release them anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not that big of a deal. Y'all should have just
But when
relaxed.
I know.
That's going to
I
be the next album.
Nobody
you know?
really cares anyway, right?
Well, you always feel like the EP is kind of like the
The stepchild.
The
It's like the
stepchild.
sad little
This
dog.
this
that's
EP
like,
is
hey.
not
Yeah.
Right.
No.
it's not.
Can I make a
stepchild.
Bible reference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this story in the Bible where, like, I can't remember who, but somebody has 2 babies, and one of them is,
Jacob and Esau.
yeah, and one of the babies is like this little baby with hair all over
Esau.
his body. So, like, the EP maybe is like the little hairy baby. And then the other
Take
baby.
a break
Yeah,
from
but
reading
he
the
was
Bible.
he was
He's microdosing and reading
You're-
the Bible.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
Either
then
stop
later it
microdosing or
says,
stop
Jacob
reading
have
the
I
Bible.
loved, but God says, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So I
yeah,
don't
dude.
want
No, the hairy guy was a bad dude. in the
Sometimes
end.
I wonder,
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Or was
he
his,
was,
Oh,
he
yeah.
was the villain.
Check.
Well, he was
or
also
was
kind of
his, the other guy, like,
Jacob steals his birthright.
his birthright.
Yeah.
Everything you described about the process of cutting goes along with all the struggles you went recording and went in a different way. So it's like the whole project was you guys in turmoil trying something new, and the end result speaks for itself. Like, you suffered, but it got you to a new level.
It's fun. Yeah, these guys came up and made a documentary of it,
Oh.
and there were so many times when the camera was on and I didn't know it, or we've just forgot. And then they sent us the 45-minute documentary the other day, and there was like all these little stupid fights happening, and it's because we were just like so nervous.
How do you
know?
guys deal with the stupid fights? That I was going to ask you that. Like what's your some kind of monster like therapist on the road?
I mean, some of them
for keeping it together.
The one stupid fight unfortunately didn't make it the documentary.
Oh, man.
But the good fight was Brian's song "Wash It Clean," where we were used to a certain version of it, and then Desner brought in this musical thing, and he just like lofted this like, if you don't use it, then like Vernon will use it or whatever, and we're like, what? And the next morning, Brian came downstairs and was like, hey, I changed the music to fit this new thing that the producer wrote, and I think it's beautiful. And we were all like, what? And it was hard.
Where you
I
didn't,
think you had wanted to write something to it as well.
Probably.
Oh, I
So
see.
there was
'Cause,
kind of
like,
like a little
I'm
scuffle over
territorial.
who
I
gets
have
the.
that competitive thing.
Yeah, well, some of that's good as long as you know how to
Competitive's good.
as long as you know how to balance it and
Nothing wrong with it.
and not take it too personally and all
Yeah.
that. But like, so you got up early with like, I'm gonna get on that first.
No,
I see how he operates.
No, I had already.
Then he's all innocent and southern and nice, and it's
Sweet.
like, what, me, bro?
Bless-
You need to calm down.
Bless your heart.
Like,
Bless
what?
your heart.
I know you're dark.
Bless your heart.
I already see it.
No,
Crack the code.
I had done it the same thing with another one, August, and I didn't even know Zach was right. He wrote a really good poem to it too. But
I did?
yeah, you had a whole thing you had wrote for it.
There you go.
It's somewhere in your notes, but I did it already once with Aaron with a song called August, and I just like took the liberty, and it was hard because the first one I don't know. I love the singer-songwriter vibe. I've done it for a long time, so it sounded like that, and it was
Right.
beautiful. But I wanted something that
Something a little
like
more
like Paul
interesting.
Simon would do. Like these guys that I think are heroes. Like he takes something that was probably just a couple chords on the acoustic, and he makes it this art.
Yeah.
So like, and I was really excited about Aaron's music. So, and it was it's another one of those things, but I'm learning to embrace that. I'm not those things.
Embrace
Those are the
what?
things I'm not letting that in, because those are the things I'm not good at. I'm not good at looking at myself and seeing those things that my friends see in me, or my
What do you mean?
my family, like my weaknesses.
Oh.
So like, I don't mind being checked because I'm not good at that. I need that.
Right.
And it's hard, but I'm learning to like just be open to it and not be so defensive, because in the end, I think if I can just like chill with it, like the end product's better always. It is better always.
Yeah. Are you guys like inspiring each other to like self-examine and be open?
Well, you have
be
to, or
like,
you
I'm
don't.
not perfect. Like that's really
Major.
major, and kudos to both of you and you as well. I mean,
She's like Zen.
Yeah.
Me and Brian are trying to
she's
get
a-
as
doesn't-
close to
yeah.
Kaneen.
yeah,
sat
she's,
out.
she's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But
I got my own
He's super
issues.
chill.
I'm sure
mode.
we all do. We're all a mess in
The
some kind
funny
of way.
in the documentary, though, I do have to say, the moment that I'm like confronting him,
Yeah.
I forgot the cameras were on, so I'm
Right.
just like
Totally
picking my
picking his
nose.
Right. Nice.